3:01. We're going to call the meeting to order of the Del Norte Local Transportation Commission regular meeting on Tuesday, July 2nd at 3:01. Can you all join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Public comment period. Anyone wishing to make public comments regarding matters either on or off the agenda and within the Commission's jurisdiction may do so at this time. However, the Commission is not permitted to act on non-agenda items. Is there any public comment? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move on to closed session, our conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation. Let's do that. We're going to reconvene now. No action to report at a closed session, and we're going to adjourn to the Policy Advisory Committee. First up on our agenda is the consent agenda. Items are considered routine in nature and voted in one motion. We have the minutes from the May 7th meeting, the Transportation Development Act claim, and the Resolution 2019-20, adopting the Transportation Development Act. Do I have any public comment on the consent calendar?
Move to approve.
There's a motion and a second. Can you please pull a vote?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes. Okay. Motion passes. Next up is the Policy and Administrative Agenda. We have our triennial performance audit and response to the audit. Director Layton.
As is summarized in my staff report, the triennial performance audit is a review of the Commission's work over 3 years. In summary, it's having an independent auditor take a look and assure the commissioners and the community that we have done the work that you have paid for, that we've done the work that we've promised to do, and we are meeting the requirements by statute for the role of the Transportation Commission. So if you're sort of wondering, gosh, how do I know that we're getting all the work done? I mean, it's, we have a complicated scope of work through our overall work program. We have things that change along the way. I think if you're ever wondering that, your first line is to just ask your own staff, because the Technical Advisory Committee is really up on this. But for a more legal assurance, we have a triennial performance audit. It checks the work of the Commission, makes sure that we have completed all the tasks in the work program, and that we are meeting our minimum requirements. So that's a sort of a high-level summary of the performance audit. I'm required to write a response to the audit, which I've included in your packet. And what I do with the response to the audit is, if it's accepted, then I follow those steps in the response, and it simply gets filed. So then in 3 years, we'll have another triennial performance audit, and the auditor will then read the response to the audit that it was accepted by the board, and they'll take a look at the recommendations of what is the current audit, but what will then be the old audit, and just again give some assurance to the commissioners and the community that we are following what we said we were going to do.
Any questions for the director regarding the audit? Okay.
Looks good to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you feel is the most important findings for the community to know about the audit?
I think that it's important for the community to know that we're doing our work.
Good.
I mean, I think, people ask me, well, what do you do anyway? And I know everybody doesn't want to read the 40-page overall work program, but it's on the website, everything's in there. If they want to just sort of breeze through the different work elements and the work of the commission, well, that describes in detail the work of the commission. There might be a work element in there that somebody's interested in. We've started, the county staff yesterday has started with this year's work of community outreach to Wonder Stump Road folks. It's in this year's overall work program. So we're wrapping up last year. There are also things that cross the fiscal years. The Elk Valley Road Multimodal Corridor Plan is an item that crosses fiscal years, and that happens. I would say there's maybe one thing a year that crosses fiscal years. But I think that's the most important thing, is to accept that assurance that we're doing the work that we promised to the community that we're doing, that we got reimbursed to do, we've completed that work, and that we're meeting all of the requirements for the purpose of the Transportation Commission.
Good. Any public comment regarding the item? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to take it back to the board. We just need consensus to accept the audit. Do we have that? Some thumbs up? Good, okay. Great. Next up is our discussion items. First is last chance grade.
Alex, if we could go back?
Yeah.
Can we do an all in favor?
Okay. All in favor of accepting the audit?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries, or consensus is adopted. Okay. What do you got first for last chance grade? Yeah.
Came in the
Yep.
mail, right? Everybody should have received one. And this is my last chance grade update. In addition to this, though, I have been talking to the folks at the Institute whose services we have paid for the past several years to provide the collaboration, the stakeholders group leadership. Because the project environmental phase is fully funded, the last meeting that the Transportation Commission is going to pay for is there's a meeting scheduled for July or August. There's an upcoming meeting, and that completes the obligation of the commission to provide those services. Jamie Mattioli, the Caltrans director for the project, came back to me and said, we have $50 million of environmental funding. We really needed you to fund this to start with, but it's more appropriate for Caltrans to fund it at this time because we have a project. Before we had we had a project before, but not in the way that we have a fully funded environmental phase. So Caltrans, I think it will be seamless to everybody. It's just a matter of who's going to receive that bill. And what that does is it allows those funds to be spent. There are Regional Surface Transportation Program funds, and it allows those funds that we were spending on the last chance grade coordination on something else here for our community. It's a very valuable fund source for both the city and the county, for other folks too, the Harbor of the Tribes, whoever needs it. But so that's just to sort of give you an update. We worked through that. Typically, I would be coming back with a new contract for that service, but if you've noticed, we're not coming back with a new contract because Caltrans is going to pick up that bill.
Cool.
Comments from the commissioners? Questions? Nothing? Okay. Next is US 199 intersection at Elk Valley Crossroad.
So this is a standing item on our agenda. We had for our Elk Valley Crossroad corridor plan, we had a public meeting last week. It was really quite well attended. I appreciate those of you who came. And we're at the gathering information stage. In addition to that, Caltrans, we talked about this, I believe, in last meeting, but Caltrans is getting closer to getting an independent consultant on board to do a safety corridor study, a safety study for the 199, the entire length of US Highway 199. And they're bringing somebody independent in. They will look at this US 199 intersection at Elk Valley Crossroad, but they will also, it will be the entire length of the road. As you all are aware, we have an unacceptable injury and fatality rate on 199. We're hoping, I'm hoping, my expectation is that we're going to end up with a laundry list of strategies of things that we can do now to make US Highway 199 safer. There will be, the simple things. There are a lot of strategies out there to make the highway safer, and my expectation is that Caltrans will be able to do all of those little things immediately. There will be some bigger things that take a lot more work, is my expectations, but we will get those simple strategies in place as immediate as possible as a result of this corridor study. Now, we haven't done the study yet, so I don't know, but just to sort of give you an idea of my expectation, the corridor studies are very effective tools. The changes that we have in the Klamath community were the result of a corridor study. So if you've, been here for a long time and you remember what that used to be, and now there are the feedback signs, the speed feedback signs, the suggested lower speed limit, some striping. There are little things that they've done in that area to make folks more aware that more is going on and they need to pay attention. And I think that it's been successful. We had a lot of pedestrian fatalities in that Smith River area, and so that's what was the impetus for that safety corridor study. And I'm expecting that this will be somewhat similar.
Sorry, Tim. What's the timeline expectation of completing the study?
I don't know.
That's an extensive.
Yeah, I would guess 2 years. This is a guess. I'm honestly, this is a guess of, that Caltrans is hiring an independent consultant. It's a significant, lengthy study. There's a lot of work to do there. So they first need to get the independent consultant on board and work through the process. I would be surprised if it was in 1 year. It could be, but, just my experience says 2 years.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Oh. Anything else from the commission? Oh, nothing? Okay. Okay, well, that gets us to item 6, commissioner comments and reports. Any comments, reports? No travel or anything? All right, then. We're going to adjourn as the Policy Advisory Committee, reconvene as the Del Norte Local Transportation Commission, and by polled vote, approve and adopt the actions taken by the Policy Advisory Committee in the items listed above. Take a motion.
Make that motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any public comment on the items that we're voting on? Okay, seeing none, can you please pull the vote?
Here. Yes.
Commissioner Jerry Hemmingston,
Yes.
Commissioner Chris Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Blake Inscore,
Yes.
Commissioner,
Me,
Chair,
yeah.
the chair.
Chair Alex Fallman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, motion carries. We're going to adjourn until the next regular scheduled meeting on Tuesday, August 6, 2019 at 3 p.m. Thank you all.
Yeah.